Hello friends. History and Political Science. Class 10. Chapter 2. Historiography Indian Tradition. Part 2. Do you know? Justice Mahadev Govind Ranade has explained the background of the rise of Maratha Empire in great details in his book, The Rise of Maratha Power. According to him, it was not like a suddenly erupted forest fire, but the ground for it in Maharashtra on the social, cultural and religious levels was getting ready over a prolonged period. Rajwane is well known for his writings in Marathi on varied subjects like history, linguistics, etymology, grammar, etc. He was of the firm opinion that we should write our own history. He compiled and edited 22 volumes of Marathyancha Itihasachi Sadhane. He wrote very scholarly prefaces to each of the 22 volumes. He stated, history is the all-inclusive image of the past societies. It does not include only the stories of political images, conspiracies and wars for seizing power. He insisted that history should be written only using the authentic documentary source. The nationalistic historiography helped in the triggering of the independence. Do you know? V.K. Rajwade founded Bharat Itihas Samshodhak Mandal in Pune on 7 July 1910 to facilitate historical research. Human history is defined by time and space. Describing any event necessitates that the final portrayal should be spread on the complete canvas of the given time and place. Only if a balanced combination of the three factors, time, space and personalities is present, then only an event does qualify to be called so. Movement of the Indian people against the British. In this aspect, the book, The Indian War of Independence, 1857, written by Vinayak The Damodar Savarkar, is of great importance. The nationalistic historiography provided a momentum to the writing of regional histories too. As a result, the attention of historians was drawn to the geographic conditions and history of South Indian regions. Historiography in the post-independence era. Now, along with writing the dynastic histories, the cultural, social, economic histories were also being written. Scholars of the post-independence era began to feel the need of writing histories of various communities, sciences, economic systems, political ideologies, cultural aspects, etc. The historiography of this era has been influenced mainly by three ideological schools: 1. Marxist history, 2. Subaltern history, 3. Feminist history. Marxist history. The concern for the means of production, modes of production and the industrial relations were at the center in the writings of Marxist historians. Accordingly, to analyze the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. Marxist historians in India studied the transitions within the caste system. Among the notable Indian historians who adopted Marxist ideological framework, scholars like Damodar Dharmanand Kosambi, Comrade Shripad Amrit Denj, Ram Sharan Sharma, Comrade Sharat Patil have contributed notably. Comrade Denj was one of the founder members of the Indian Communist Party. Primitive Communism to Slavery. The book written by him represents Marxist historiography. Subaltern history. The seeds of very subaltern history are found in the Marxist historiography. The role of the Italian historian Antonio Gramsci is important in developing the idea that history should be written starting from the bottommost ranks of people in the society. In fact, subaltern means the bottommost ranks. Folklore has been considered as a very important source of writing subaltern histories. Ranjit Guha, an Indian historian, played a major role in establishing subaltern history as an important academic school of historiography. However, we may point out that much before the onset of subaltern ideology, similar thoughts were expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Mahatma Phule unfolded the history of the Shudra communities in his book, Gulamgiri. He drew attention to the exploitation of women, Shudras and Atishudras done under the name of religion. The Shudra terms and Atishudra indicates the bottommost ranks in the caste system. The role of the people belonging to Dalit castes is very significant in the shaping of various cultural and political aspects of India. However, their role was not duly acknowledged in the colonial and nationalistic historiography. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, focusing on this fact, consistently wrote about it. Two of his books, Who Were the Shudras and The Untouchables, may be cited as examples of history of subaltern type. Feminist history. Over a significant period of time, mainly male scholars were involved in the writing of Indian history. As a result, the role and achievements of women in history remained neglected. To highlight this fact was a major task faced by the feminist historians. Also, it was important to study and compile the historical writings of women. It was also necessary to rethink of women's position in history. Among women authors writing about women in the 19th century CE, Tarabai Shinde was the foremost one. She wrote attacking the male-dominated social system and the caste system. Her book, Stripurish Tulna, published in 1882, is acknowledged as the first feminist book in India. In 1888, the book written by Pandita Ramabai was published, entitled The High Caste Hindu Woman. The feminist literature of the post-independence era concentrated on the issues like employment of women, treatment meted out to them at their workplace, their right to political equality, etc. Among the recently published feminist literature, Meera Kosambi's book, Crossing Thresholds Feminist Essays in Social History, is of importance. It contains essays on the life stories of women like Pandita Ramabai and Dr. Rukmabai, the first practicing lady doctor of India. A lot of literature is available unfolding the viewpoint of Dalit women in Maharashtra. Dr. Sharmila Rege's work is noteworthy in this context. Her book, Writing Caste, Writing Gender, Reading Dalit Women's Testimonies includes her essays on the autobiographies of Dalit women. Do you know? Publication of Marathi was Riyasat by Govind Sakharam Sardesai, momentous achievement in the field of Indian historiography. His work became so famous that people began to address him as Riyasatkar. He published several volumes of Maratha history. There have been a number of Indian historians who wrote without embracing a particular ideology. Among them historians like Sir Jadunath Sarkar, Surendra Nath Sen, Riyasatkar G.S. Trambak Shankar Sardesai, and Shejwalkar are noteworthy. In the recent times, historians like Yashwant Dinkar Farhke, Ramchandra Guha, etc. have contributed extensively to the historiography of modern India. Thus, it is evident that the Indian historiography has been influenced greatly by the social and political movements. It seems that some part of the Indian historiography was also developed outside the influence of these movements. Summary. Ancient period. Indian historiography began with oral traditions preserving memories of ancestors, myths, and social changes. Writing was known by the Harappan period, 3rd millennium BCE, though the script is undeciphered. The earliest historical writings are Ashokan edicts, 3rd century BCE, and later inscriptions on coins, sculptures, and copper plates, giving political, social, and climatic information. Ancient literature, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, Jain Buddhist texts, and foreign travelers' accounts are major sources. Biographies like Harshacharita by Banbhatta depict the socio-cultural life of rulers' times. Medieval period. Kalhana's Rajtarangini applied critical use of sources. Court historians under Muslim rulers, like Ziauddin Barni, Tariq-i-Firuz Shahi, stressed recording both virtues and failings of rulers. Mughal historians, example Abul Fazl, Akbarnama, used authentic documents. Regional forms like Marathi Bakhars narrated events, battles, and rulers' lives. Foreign travelers, Ibn Battuta, Marco Polo, and Mughlera authors, Babar, Khafi Khan, added rich detail. Modern period under British rule. Archaeology began with Sir Alexander Cunningham. Harappan civilization was discovered under Sir John Marshall. British historians like James Mill, History of British India, and Grant Duff, History of the Mahrattas, often showed colonial bias. Indian historians like Neelkant Janardhan Kirtane and V.K. Rajwane challenged such views and emphasized writing history from authentic sources. Various ideological frameworks. Colonial historiography written mainly by British officers and missionaries, often justifying colonial rule, example Cambridge History of India. Orientalist historiography, European scholars like William Jones and Max Muller admired Indian culture, focused on Sanskrit literature, and studied Indo-European language links. Nationalistic historiography, Indian historians sought to restore pride in India's past, example M.G. Ranade, V.K. Rajwade, V.D. Savarkar. Inspired regional histories and the independence movement. Post-independence schools. Marxist history analyzed events in terms of production, class, and caste dynamics, example D.D. Kosambi. Subaltern history focused on the marginalized, influenced by Antonio Gramsci, Mahatma Phule, and B.R. Ambedkar. Feminist history highlighted women's neglected role in history, example Tarabai Shinde, Pandita Ramabai, Meera Kosambi. Conclusion. Indian historiography evolved from oral traditions to modern scholarly methods, shaped by political, social, and ideological movements, while some historians worked beyond ideological lines, example Jadunath Sarkar, G.S. Sardesai.